Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Changing Lives. I'm your host, Deonte Burden. I know we're a little tardy for the party.
Right.
I had to take care of some executive stuff. So
Right.
I apologize and everything. But you know what? Being late doesn't necessarily mean you ain't on time.
That's right.
So we here, baby.
That's
We got a
right.
great show for you guys tonight. Tonight we're talking about something that a lot of people deal with. And that's really just starting over. Starting over 30, 40, 50. It's never too late. Because a lot of times we have different aspirations, dreams, and things we want to do with our lives. Like, man, I think about doing this. I think about doing that. And we are number one proponent for talking ourselves out of shit. And so
Right.
I want to have a discussion tonight, to address the issue of being okay with starting over, but also give you strategies and ideas on how you can start over. Okay. So again, tonight show we're talking about starting over at 30, 40, or 50 is never too late. Again, I am Deonte Burden. This is Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. I'm live in the lab. We stream live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. But the main hub is the Change Your Lives YouTube channel, where we have over 1,000 videos, and we just crossed the line for 25,000 subscribers. I also got this stream on Mr. Short as well, because it does have that entrepreneurial piece. But this is a show for changing lives today, man. Again, we're talking about starting over 30, 40, 50. Not too late. Don't think about anything. If you guys are live on the chat, feel free to leave a comment in the chat. We'll get with you. But also feel free to call in. You want to add to the conversation. You aspiring to do something different. You think about doing something different. You're a little afraid about doing it because you may be in a certain situation, maybe a certain age, certain part of life, and you just want to just get it off your chest, talk about it, get some advice on it. Feel free to call in. The call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother? Another Thursday.
Man,
the best day of the week.
Absolutely, baby.
Best day of the week.
Yeah.
Here we are, doing what we love to do.
Change some lives.
Changing some lives. Hey, mama. We got to say, hey, mama.
What's up, mama?
As soon as I turned it on, she came in.
I just got a phone.
Hey, mama.
I just got a phone, mama.
How you doing? Real BMF Hag. I guess that's what that is. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Tammy West's family. All she got to do is say the word. So that's nothing. Okay. Anyway.
Cool. Also, we'll say what's up, mother producer Slick 316. What's up, Reek?
What's going on, Rick? Mama said, hey, Slick. Right.
So when we had these conversations, the whole thing about the premise of having the conversation really was to debunk that whole myth. When you get to a certain point in life, you shouldn't do something. Because I used to sometimes hear people like, I done got too old to do something different.
Right.
I done got too old.
Right.
And I remember, I forgot Pat's name, but Pat was 70 something. She was in grad school with me, and Pat was one of them career student, life students.
Okay.
She probably on her 4th or 5th degree.
Okay.
But it was it was kind of inspiring to me to kind of look at it, because again, I know some of us even look at our own parents or grandparents, we see that mental aspect kind of decline, but even had the faculties at that age,
right, to keep going,
to be in grad school,
right.
But that kind of gave me a little juice for just seeing that. But I want people to just understand, man, like, hey, man, life's precious,
right?
And that shit can end like that,
and you gotta live it,
or it can go on another 40, 50 damn years. And like I said at the show last week, regret is painful,
real painful.
And when you live a life of regret and wish you had to do something, and you got to see it all the time, it's not a death sentence, but it's damn near like that. So nothing wrong with just saying, okay, I tried it. But when you put yourself in a situation where you got things that you could have did or whatever, because if you did it, it didn't work out.
Right.
So I tried it. Well, you say, you be honest with yourself, man. It's probably the best thing for me to do then. I could have gave more effort. When you don't do it at all, man, it mess with your spirit.
Right.
So I just want people to just be, don't hesitate with doing certain things. That's why I want to have that kind of conversation with everybody in regards to just looking at things too late. I don't care what age you are. 30, I'm saying 30, 40, 50. I don't care you 60 or 70. So I just we're gonna have that conversation tonight in regards to it's never too late to start over. Right? Your dreams, if it wasn't, if things weren't possible, you wouldn't dream. You wouldn't think about stuff. You wouldn't aspire. So now you ain't never, ever got, because you ain't never too late to go back to school. You ain't never too late to start that business. You know what I'm saying? Now you might be a little past trying to look like you in your damn 20s. Like I'm saying something. Let's see, bro, with these damn cornrows start back here.
Yeah.
Got a TI tip on their head.
Yeah.
Let me get back on the 20s. Get back on subject. Get back on subject.
Okay.
So we start talking about the myth of being too late. First, a lot of times just culturally, a lot of times people just think that you should be at certain points in your life.
Life.
Yeah. So okay, you 30, 40, 50 years old, you should have you should own a home, you should own a car, you should have this amount of money in 401k, you should be done did that, should be did that, you should be married, you should have grandkids, you should da. And those cultural expectations have people in different mental modes.
True.
Because you feeling esteemed, I got all that, or you feeling kind of funny, like, man, I hadn't achieved that stuff in my life. And I'm here to say, you're like, who the hell can tell you what the hell you should be doing?
Right.
Who should tell you should be married? Who should tell you should have kids? Who should tell you should own that home or whatever this, that, and that? You can do it whenever you want to do it.
Right.
The problem of it is if you decide you're going to get caught up in what other people say, if you're going to get caught up into the perception of what you think it is and what the reality, because what you have is what you have, and what you've done is what you've done, right? So you just got to be realistic about certain stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You like you're thinking, like.
I am. You said it already. I'm not gonna dwell in it, but the hardest thing is to get caught up into things that you set for yourself. If you set them goals and benchmarks for yourself and you don't make them, it hurts a lot more when you sit back and look at it and you go, dang, by this time I should have been done this. What and then you gotta reflect on what happened. Why I was on a good path. So it stings more when you set these benchmarks more than I think it does when someone else outside of what you have going on sets them. So for me, it was always myself setting them and those benchmarks and not making them benchmarks. It's one of those things where you look back on. You say, man, I was doing this, I was doing that. What set me back? And then you start reflecting on what you're doing now. And you're like, man, see, I was supposed to be retired at 50. And I'm not, of course, but then you sit back, man, I was on the good path to be retired. Like, and then you start soaking in it. That's what becomes the real problem, because then you start getting depressed about the progress that you didn't make. Slick says 40 or 50, she said by 40 or 50 having kids ain't fair. 40 or 50 isn't a good time to start a rap career. 40 or 50 ain't a good time to be a drug dealer.
All right, Slick.
That's
talking to aspiration. Regardless how we feel. But to the point, I think it got a lot to do with just the verbiage of the words you live by.
Right.
Because think about the weight that the word I didn't put on you.
Right.
I didn't do this. I didn't achieve this. But as opposed to how energized when you say I can and I will.
Okay.
When I can and I will, gonna drive you. I didn't makes you sit down and dwell. You see what I'm saying?
It does. It really does.
So it has a lot to do with the verbiage that you put in your own damn spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because I sit there and just I didn't. You just sitting there thinking about the shit you didn't do. But if you turn around, I can and I will, you just thinking about what you're gonna do. Right?
Right.
Same individual. It's just a difference of words that you choose to just carry you over. So it's just something to think on, because when we get into those funks, we gotta know how to get our ass out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm big on reflection. You know what I'm saying? Because reflection teaches us. But when we start talking about what we need to do to get out of shit, that verbiage. Because I didn't have your ass sitting there and not do it, but I will. Yeah, I will and I can.
Right.
Changes everything, right? It's just something to think on with that. And like I said, that fear and judgment, how demanding would it be?
Mm-hmm.
What would it take from me to do it and everything?
Right,
you know,
right.
what other folks gonna say, man, you going back to school. You starting a business.
Right.
What are you doing?
What your
All
little
that kind of
business
stuff.
gonna be?
Because folks, let me say the Trader Cole said I agree with Slick 100%. Well, see that y'all stop that. That's aspiration.
Right.
You know, but let me say this. There when we start putting our fears on certain stuff, lab, we and I get it. You know, people, you know, talk you out of stuff, you talk yourself out of stuff. When you start being so engaged on the what ifs or what nots and stuff like that, you'll never get anything accomplished. And people are not, listen, be very careful what I'm about to say. People are not obligated to see the best you possible. They're not obligated.
That's true.
So you sit here and say, I want to do this kind of stuff, and people just can't see it. They're not obligated to see shit. Right? They're not obligated to do it. It's good they can be supportive, but they're not obligated to have the vision you have for yourself. Right. You know, so, and I think that's what a lot of people don't get. Well, they didn't support me, this, that, and that. What is support? You know what I'm saying? Now, some people can be negative. Hey, your dumb ass can't do this. You can't do that. How you going to do that? Yeah, you do have some people being negative. But you can't make decisions in life based off the cheerleading squad. You can't make decisions in life based off, you know, just the outside coming in and doing stuff to you, even if it's the people that are closer to you, right? So I just want people to understand that, damn what other folks say. You know, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. What you want to do, you just want to head down that path. You know what I'm saying? I'm not obligated to see the CEO in you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not obligated to see the chef in them. Like, chef, man, he's out there barbecuing chef. There ain't no chef. You know what I'm saying? But who am I? Right? You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to prove nothing to me. You got to prove something to yourself. Because I'm going to think how I can think like that by everybody. It might not even be that personal with you. Right? But understand it very clearly. People are not obligated to see the best you possible. You're obligated to make all that stuff happen for you to get there. Regardless of the cheering, I just want people to
squad,
understand. Yeah, you may get it, may not get it.
There might be no cheering section.
Absolutely. Because people everybody is not vision, can't just see stuff, right? And you just can't expect those certain things from folks who are doing it. It's cool when you have a certain conversation with people, you're like, yeah. And they just, that's right. But you know how sharp some folks are. I mean, they're dumb, but they don't understand certain things. So the obligation is on you to make your stuff come to reality, not for other people to see it and push you to it. One thing I want people to understand, regardless you do or don't do, son, the clock is ticking. So it ain't too late at 30, 40, 50. But shit, your ass gonna be 60, 70, 80 soon. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the time you sitting there wasting trying to damn convince yourself to do something, the clock is still on. So, you know, I will say it's safe to say probably that once you do hit that 50 mark, like Lamb say, you got less summers behind.
A lot less summers
ahead of you than you do have behind you. So you got to sit here and say to yourself, like, look, while I'm sitting here trying to debate and wrestle with myself and do this certain thing, let me give it a try. You're not in a situation to keep wasting time and putting stuff off, right? So look, you know, again, I like when people call me all the time about should I do this? You know, I don't know if I call any people, and I tell people all the time, I appreciate you looking to listen to Mr. Short Dollar. I appreciate turning and change your life. But you need to let the person that can make the decision tell you no, not me. I can give you the facts of what things are. But as far as the decision, you need to call the bank. You need to call your man. Hey, I'm not the one to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I think people have to, you know, accept that point. Time ticking.
And after 50 years, 1 year goes by about 5 at a time. So just let you know, if 1 year goes by 5 at a time. So before you know it, you'll be 55. So don't waste that time, man. Like that time is precious. Like people don't really realize how precious time is, how it's one of the, you know, hard to get and the easiest to lose. So we got to make sure that we, you know, live them dreams. I say all the time, we talk about this all the time, put you on this show on Changing Lives, how, you know, I probably should have been a superstar top DJ making millions of dollars a year by now. You know what I'm saying? That's what my dream when I first started DJing was. But of course, you know, forks and road, life, children, all that stuff gets in the way. You got to veer off. But if I had just stayed the course just a little bit instead of just dropping it totally, you never know where I could be.
Well, here's the deal: you still can.
Mm-hmm.
The issue come up because of age, because of wisdom, because of experience. I know what it takes to get there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to fuck with that.
Right, and that's it.
Right. So that's the thing about it. And when you sit there and say that, like, really ain't a big deal, me thinking about it, because now I know. Because like I always share with myself, when I was growing up, my whole thing was get a job in corporate America. I want to get a job downtown Atlanta, get my own office, wear a briefcase, and I got all that shit. And when I got it, overrated was.
Wasn't fulfilled.
I got to sit and argue with the white folks all day. I got to see, I just didn't feel like this, that, and that, and everything. And I'm pushing and pushing and pushing, and it didn't fulfill me like I thought it would. But again, I did it. I did it, and I didn't let it hinder me. But when I started saying to myself, "Let me do my own thing," and I remember my OG, my mentor that I used to go to, he was. And I look back at it now, he put a lot of barriers on himself. But like we were telling me, like, man, I've been here 20-some years. What I'm gonna do this, that, and that. I didn't want to be talking like that.
Right.
And I was like, shit, let me get the hell out of here before I, and again, nothing against him because he taught me everything.
Right.
But like I didn't want to be that way. And my fear of not being that way was much greater than my fear of, let me go out here and step and do my own.
Okay.
So I want to emphasize one thing, guys. Age is just a number. It's a digit, right? You can pivot, you can change, you can do anything you want. Do not let that number scare you from doing certain things, right? That just remember that what I'm saying. That's just a damn number, right? Y'all just need to understand that with age. There are things that come along with it, but the age is just a number. Do not let that number stop you from doing anything.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind when we start talking about this stuff. We create so many myths when it comes to age by stuff being too late. That's just a digit.
Right.
That's just a digit. Just like you got these Casanet and Logan Paul, all these guys in their 20s and early 30s making hundreds of millions of dollars. Because again, they didn't let their age, really overcome them.
Right.
And you can do the same thing if you hit 30, 40, 50, 60 years old. Don't let that be a hindrance to you, okay? I just want to overemphasize that it's a number.
Right.
Okay. Again, tonight show we're talking about starting over at 30, 40, 50. It's never too late. I am Deonte Burden. It's Change the Life, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Feel free to leave a comment in the question or comment if you want to chime in, or feel free to call in. The call in number 678-740-9894.
Yeah.
Again, the call in number is 678-740-9894. Man, I like this Chris show.
Let me
call in, man.
Right. Let me ask a question. Do you mean starting over? We're not just talking about careers and maybe dreams we want to live. We talking about in life in general, right? Like getting divorced and starting over and trying to, date or getting married again. We talking about all aspects of starting over, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The thing of the Lab, and I've said this a gazillion times, change is extremely frightening. Especially if you've been going down a pathway for extended amount of time. Short 5, but definitely let's say you've been 10, 20 years in a certain situation, been in that marriage relationship, that job, living in the same area, whatever. Change is extremely frightening, right? But you can empower yourself so much by doing it. But remember what I always tell you guys, when we do changes like that are extremely frightening, it usually put us in a different stratosphere.
Okay.
It could be financially, it could be mentally, spiritually, or whatever. But because a lot of times when the exceptional change comes into your head to actually start to try to do something differently, it's because something done occurred. Relationship getting bad, job getting bad, area getting funky. I don't like it over here or whatever. Something's happened to kind of trigger the thoughts, right? And the longer you prolong it, the more it wears on you be in that situation. Because again, the thought don't just come in for no reason at all.
Right.
Because if it's something you don't want to deal with, we don't even bounce right out.
Well, no.
Yeah. I'm cool with my job. I ain't studying it.
Right.
Shit, I'm straight with my woman. I don't know about you, but I'm good.
Right.
So if it's not an interest or idea of it, it bounces out.
Right.
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 But if it staggers and lingers, shit, you probably, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then we wrestle with it and stuff. It eventually start getting where it gets heavier.
Right.
Heavy to deal with. So change is frightening. We can admit that. But again, typically when it's changes like that, they put you in a different stratosphere in life. Just kind of keep that in mind. And you'll never ever get there if you don't make that change. And you will be stuck with what we talked about earlier. Regret.
Yeah. I always look at people when they say, well, I just up and moved to Ireland, or I just up and moved over to England. And I'm like, man, how you just up and move like that, like just gone to a whole nother country, like even to a whole nother state without even, a hesitation on it. They be like, well, it took us a couple of years, but we decided to just go ahead and pull the trigger and we moved. Now we living in, Australia or New Zealand, and this is a great life, and I'll be like watching the videos on YouTube, like, how do you just up and move like that? Like, how do you prepare yourself for that type of situation? And that's just one of the things. It's like they didn't want to wait. They said they didn't want to wait. They wanted to live their dream. That's what they wanted to live in. That's what they did.
That'd be amazing to see folks that just up and move and do certain things like that. Hey guys, in the chat, put in any idea if you thought of, like, hey man, I want to start over. Any idea that you may have in between your ears, just to like, hey, I want to start over and do this. I've been thinking about doing this. I've been thinking about that. Just put it in the chat real quick so I can get an idea of what you guys may be thinking about as far as starting over. When we're thinking about that though, guys, I'm talking about starting over, I just want a couple myths you may have. Just some basic strengths about even starting over is, when the older we get experience and wisdom. We learn different things, we experience different things, and so we can see, to the point we had earlier, like, hey, I want to be this top DJ, but I understand the person sacrifice to come along with it. I've seen that, and I know. So for me to do that, I know how to do that. So that's the leverage I have as opposed to if I may be younger and I may seem like I got life ahead of me, I don't necessarily know. So when you're more experienced, you have a better idea, pros, cons, time constraints, things like that, what all is required.
Right.
So that's an asset with actually, just doing things later in life. Also, you got clarity and focus. You.
Right.
You. I am not an overtime guy. I am not a person guy. Right. I am not a, a person that want to sit here and be away from my family. I like sleeping. You got a better idea of you to sit here and say, well, look, man, that stuff here, because I always respect friends of mine when we talk. Man, look, I ain't really on that entrepreneur stuff, like, need a little overtime, but you need a little help on the weekend or something, Poochie, that's cool. But I want to go to work, get my check.
It's my structure,
After 5 o'clock, I'm done. I want to work OT, I can do it. And you know yourself with that.
Right.
You know yourself what you want to have. You want more. Hey, listen, I can't work with nobody. I can't work with nobody younger than me. I don't want to work for men. I want to work for women. We get clarity and focus. We know us, right?
Right.
Those kind of things that happen when we start talking about never too old. As we get older, those are the kind of things that we have. So when we talk about those things, because we just address the reason why, maybe myths, but we start looking at the benefits of being older and want to make those changes. You got more clarity and focus because you know what you like, what you don't like, what you don't want to do, whatever, and you can move accordingly from there. You're typically more financially stable. You typically been working for a while, got a little nest egg. Most time the kids are gone, and those kind of things are not necessarily an issue or whatever. So, you maybe done built up a little saving, maybe done this, that, and that. Typically, if you've been on your job for a while, what you came in at, you're making a lot more than that now. So you put yourself in a position where you can be a little bit more flexible, right? So your mortgage, you got your house a couple years ago, or you on the same track that you're paying. I got more free money or residual income out there, or discretionary income, out there now that I can kind of play with, as opposed to I was a little bit over 10, 15 years ago, right? So those kind of things, we're looking at the pros of being a little older, going into certain things. Like you're a little bit more financially stable. And most importantly, guys, you're more resilient and persistent. When we're younger, we like, oh man, this ain't working, I quit.
Right.
Things not necessarily going, and I just stopped. I haven't been taught, I had experience enough to understand, like, this is not how it goes. This is a process. It's not over. We got to do 4 or 5 steps. When I was younger, when one thing didn't go right, I quit. But now that I'm older, I understand that I got to kind of keep staying along with certain things. The asset of being older and having that wisdom of knowing, okay, how you got to stick
I
around.
gotta do this.
Yeah, you couldn't quit when you want to because, hey, listen, when them kids came and I wanted to send their ass back, I didn't have that option.
That's true.
You know,
That's
resilience, patience, persistence. You know, being older, you've got that stuff in you because what you thought was a big damn deal 10, 15 years ago, you're like, chill the hell out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you can handle stuff in a smoother, less stressful way. Okay. So those are assets you have in regards to if you start over, you know, later in life. Let me see what comments we got. Sexy Red Bone say, move to Vegas and enjoy life. That was part of starting over. Hey, listen, like I said, if I even were doing that, when we said moving and certain things like that, it's just a matter of looking into it. That's just the thing about it. It's just a matter of looking into it. We are our own biggest hindrance. We are our own biggest hindrance. Somebody say something, you got anything? You know, that those kind of things. When I hear people all the time discussing about what they want to do or whatever, why don't you do it? And till the weight of it, you know, like, you know, they just talking, they really want to do it and stuff like that. And some folks really do want to do it. But like I said, the other stuff just outweighing it.
I think the don'ts outweigh the do's a lot of times when it comes to executing something that you want to do. The don'ts are louder. They may not be more, but they may be fewer than the do's, but they are louder. Well, that's the problem. When you have the don'ts in your head, that voice and that volume of that don't is so much louder than the do's, and it talks you out of stuff.
Well, Lab, you think about it. When we just said the word didn't and can and will, even though didn't is it weighs more, it's more comfortable. So it's easy for me to say what I didn't do because comfortable with doing it. It takes a degree of courage and fearlessness to say I will and I can't, and I am, or I can. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be a little. It take a little courage to do that. That doesn't mean you're scary or you're not courageous if you don't say it, but you're kind of confirming that you're gonna do it. You finna execute, like we said last week. We finna execute, right? But when we say I didn't, it's comfortable because everybody didn't do something where I didn't, and you know it may weigh on you, but you don't feel as bad because other folks didn't do stuff. When you start hearing the I am, I can, I will. Excuse me. Now we're getting ready to put action behind it.
Slick say people fear failure, and that's why they don't.
Absolutely, and that's wrong, fear and failure. But at the end of it, fear and failure. But see, here's the deal, and that's where we go to the mindset shift.
Okay.
Are we failing? Or are we learning? See, the thing of it, when you bang your head and do something, man, I know what I did wrong. Right?
I should have skipped that last
Yeah. Own that shit. Right? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So are we failing to learn it?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's the thing about it. We wouldn't have light bulbs. We wouldn't have cell phones. We wouldn't have roads. We wouldn't have fans. We wouldn't have activists. We wouldn't have nothing if people stopped at their failures. You know what I'm saying? Hell, we wouldn't have no damn. You remember the thousands of trials they had to do with the COVID vaccine. Like everything has to be done over and over and over and over and over again, right? And that's the thing people got to understand. And even when you do it over and over and over again, you still might not get the results you want, right? You just got to, it all depends what you want.
And how bad you want it.
Yeah, exactly. And you can be honest with yourself, like, okay, the commitment you're willing to give and the commitment you gave to a certain situation. A lot of people don't want to do that. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think when we do set a commitment or we set a benchmark, we put a time limit on, like we be like, not age-wise, but like, okay, 1 year I would be doing this, and then if you ain't at that point in 1 year, if you could skip it and go to something else, do you think that should happen? Like this benchmark don't really have nothing to do with the next benchmark. Let's put it that way.
Let me say something. You can put the benchmark on there if you turn around and say, I don't think you should put benchmarks, my personal opinion, you should put benchmarks on it if you didn't make certain achievements, because achievement may not necessarily come when you want it to come.
Okay.
You can put benchmarks on when we start talking about capacity, what you can do.
Right.
So look, just like me and you go to the casino. I got $200 for you.
Right.
After the $200, I ain't got shit to lose.
Right.
So that's my benchmark.
Okay.
Now, me going there and saying, well, look, I want to sit here and win this, and I want to win this, that, and that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. I might got to keep playing a couple more shots. You know, I might got to do a couple more things.
I'm turning 200,
right?
2,000.
Exactly.
Right.
So, one is like, this is the definite. Like, we can't do that. Look, we only got to the end of the year. They're not giving us any more time. Right? We only going to have these folks working with us for 2 or 3 months to get this done.
Right.
Those are benchmarks, but they're also realistic things that we can't go any further with that, right? But we start looking at the achievements. We don't necessarily know if the achievements going to come, right? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or if those setbacks are going to come.
Right.
So when you do that, did the setback stop you? Or did the setback just make things uncomfortable? Did the setbacks make you feel bad? But more so those ones where you just that stops the mission. We only got so much time to do. We only got so much money.
Right.
And that's real and definite.
Right.
But the achievement, we don't know if they're gonna come.
Okay.
And we don't necessarily, because we can what we deem to be 200% still may not necessarily give us what we need to be. So it didn't come from nothing we didn't damn do. It just when that time in that particular. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I get.
So that's just my personal opinion on when we set those benchmarks.
Right. Okay.
Right?
I get.
You know, those are goals we want to have, but to say, hey, let's stop doing it because it didn't happen, I wouldn't necessarily do that. I mean, if that was the deal, I wouldn't even fucking be sitting in front of you right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But we talk to the air.
Could a channel do this?
Right.
Did it? It's shit. It flatline damn 90% of the time.
Right.
So you know. Shit.
Right. I get it.
I don't know how long the damn project 100,000. You get what I'm saying?
I get it. I
got my destination.
Right.
But you know, like, yeah, I want to do it for the end of the month. It sounds good. But I did that shit. What was it? 80,000? Yeah, we were stuck on that damn there, 5 or 6 months. So you know, I'm more so the definites.
Okay.
With those particular things, right?
Okay.
That's my personal opinion, because again, the definites we just can't get around.
Okay.
Right? We only got 3 months. We only got 3
months.
We only got 2 people. We got 2 people. Right?
Okay.
We only got so much fun. We only got that.
Okay.
But to say we have achieved this, we don't know.
I just ask because a lot of times when you get to a certain age and the benchmarks you set for yourself, and once you, like you said, you know, start over 30, 40, and 50, you know, sometimes them benchmarks are age equivalent. I mean, I guess, but you have to at least reassess and come back and look at it and see if that's even possible, and then if there's another way around it. When you agree, like there's like, we're not giving up on what we want to do. We're not giving up on a dream. We're not giving up on nothing just because we're a certain age. But what we are doing, you know, we say to ourselves, like I'm saying, we want to be a pro wrestler. We may not could be a pro wrestler at 60, but we may could be a trainer, or, you know what I'm saying? We have to reassess what we want to do at that particular point in time when that benchmark can't be made.
Well, good point, and that's a good question. I think anytime we go into a pathway where things that we're trying to do is determined by the opportunity that another person give us, it's always going to be kind of funky, right? Because I want to be a pro wrestler, but I still got to get an opportunity. If I can be a pro wrestler out there in my backyard,
right,
or in the bedroom, you know, that's a little different. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But our seriousness, like, we got to kind of be realistic with those kind of things going into it.
Right.
But I've never been, again, I never been one to thwart somebody's aspirations, but we also got to be in the planning phase. Like, okay, is this something I got total control of? Is this something I got to get other people to buy into? Is things I got to get a person to buy into? We got to kind of be realistic with that.
Okay.
You know, with that too. So it's a little thinking we got to do, and be honest with ourselves.
Right.
With that, that's a good question, because, you know, Colonel Sanders started out this shit at 65.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's,
you know,
true.
In my mind, what I be looking at, I'm just thinking myself, and I had this conversation with my kids. I can't go 23 hours like I used to when I'm in my 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
DJM can.
Yeah.
And, you know, I get sleepy. You know, I'll be like, you know, and they can bang like that.
Yeah. I used to go to work, come home, clean up the house, change the house around, go right back outside, go right back to work 2 jobs, come back in the next day, school. I mean, just going off of 1-2 hours of sleep. Now I need a good 2 hours, 3 hours in the middle of the day.
You know, Morgan Freeman didn't get major roles to him like late 50s.
No, really?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He did like look, you know, this, that, and that. I think he did some of the what do you call the black what was the damn thing called back in the 70s? I'm a pimp girl. You know,
yeah.
What was it called? Black not black fiction.
Exploitation.
Blaxploitation.
Yeah.
Like he did that kind of stuff, but you know, when he started getting those roles, yeah, like
the major roles.
Yeah, and think about it, Morgan Freeman, but he in his 80s, right?
Yeah, almost. I want to say almost in the 90s.
But that's what I'm saying. So like, just think about it, and he's still acting. But you know, you go back, you know, let's say 30, 40 years. When you probably became like a household name.
I mean, he was on Electric Company for a while.
But you think about that. But I'm talking about like we talk about 40 years ago when he started getting them. I'm thinking maybe like 30 to be totally honest with you. So you got to kind of keep that in mind. I'm just giving an example of a guy. It's never too late.
Hey, what's going on, Joseph guys? How you doing? Jay Pleasant. I appreciate you tuning in.
I appreciate
you on Facebook.
Okay, cool. Appreciate you tuning in. Those kind of things. I just want to kind of set the stage with it, like. Put yourself in the right mindset. Because we can talk ourselves about the shit real quick. And we can also have that same thing happen to by people that are close to us.
Right.
Because we love them, they love us, and they care about us. They know us better than other people. Boy, you know you don't want to do that. Boy, you want to do that. But that light bulb just went off.
Right.
And the poochie that you normally know is not the poochie right now. Right? Yeah. I get it. I understand. You know what I'm saying? That's why we talked last week. People want to get their real estate like it. They see folks making money. But you know you don't like talking to people.
Right.
You know you don't.
Right.
You know you don't like following up with people.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You know yeah. Prospects, leads. I don't want to do that. But you see people making money, so you think, I can do that. But that has nothing to do with your personality. Right. To do that. So again, we just got to kind of be mindful. We can do anything, but know who you are. Again, tonight's show we're talking about 34, starting over at 34 to 50 is never too late. Again, guys, you can leave your comments in the chat. Also, feel free to call into the show, 678-740-9894. Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. Some of the benefits of starting over at any age, guys, your personal growth, feeling good about yourself. Ain't nothing like getting out of bed in the morning feeling good
about yourself.
Feeling good. Boy, I felt when I was working at my job, I mean, everything outside was great. Good money, working downtown, around a lot of pretty women every day. Lord have mercy. Downtown Atlanta, boy, ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it, boy. Suits and pumps every day. Hey, brother, you know, ain't that many us down there.
Right. So you gonna stand out a little bit.
Yes, sir. Stand out, I stood. But, you know, it's nothing like, but I say all that to say, man, I felt like I had a ball and chain on my ass going like that. I'm dealing with these folks, arguing with, man.
Right.
It was so, my initial journey was great.
The journey to the building.
Yeah. But my initial, I'm talking about just corporate-wise, career-wise. But as I got older and stuff, things weren't going the way I wanted to go. That shit was hard, right? It was painful. So I say that to say, when we started talking about starting over and everything like that, you can put yourself in different trajectory. Ask yourself this. I want everybody to think about this while I ask. This is the thing where I had to get with my kids all the time when they taking advice from everybody. Is majority of the people that you know doing what they want to do, or are they doing what they have to do? Are they doing what they want to do, or are they doing what they have to do? Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you doing what you want to do, man, shit. I'm telling you, this Mr. Short Dollar Sleep for the past 7-8 years. The first couple years was funky.
Right.
This transition and that, then had to go through that divorce. But oh, you guys don't know. You guys don't know.
Sleep is different.
Oh, sleep different. It's different. It's different. And then it got hype when I got the CPAP. You know what I'm saying? I got the CPAP.
Right.
Oh,
best sleep you ever had.
Oh, too dreamy. Oh, boy.
Let's talk to Mac Ray. Say, do you think people are more effective in this area if they see someone else bounce back?
It helps. It helps, especially if you know them. It helps because, again, a lot of times when we see things happen from a positive or a negative standpoint, they kind of affirm some of the things that we already think about, like whatever. He's like, oh man, I bet I do that, man. I might lose my job.
Right.
Oh man, I might want to do that. I see they doing okay with it, right? So it helps. Either way.
And sometimes it skews your decision left or right. No, either way. Yeah.
You know, it depends on how it is. I'm a firm believer 85% of the world doesn't use logic. You know, they kind of go off what they feel or what they think.
They throw it against the wall, see what sticks.
But we see that with the videos. If I make a post and say, hey man, the police just slapped me and my daughter, the comments gonna be like, kill them, da. They'll never get in the background information.
Right.
Like I said, most people just roll with what they hear, what they think.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think it helps to do that. Depending on, you know, really I think the individual what they want to hear. They feel good to do it, you know, and again, because most of the time people with success do not share the pain of their
success. They only show you the finish. They never show you the journey.
Yeah. The missing part is the staying up late, sacrificing, rob Peter, pay Paul. Yeah, sure, like you said, the finished product, the lavish lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. But excuse me, the destination to get the pathway or journey to get there, most people just don't necessarily want to share that. But that's just something to kind of think about. Sexy Redbone said, not the CPAP. Absolutely. Hey man, if you're getting rough nights at sleep, your ass better go get that test.
So go get it.
Change your life. Change your life. Another we start talking about the benefits of starting over in age. Just say personal growth, you know, new purpose that change the direction. Hey man, you just going, you gotta refocus and everything. You see a lot of times somebody retired and they start working for the church and they do some work for a nonprofit or whatever. You're like, damn man, I ain't seen this shit in your ass or whatever.
Right.
Because you got a different direction, something different in your life. You know, you didn't know it. But it came, man. When I came here as a guest on my brother's show, he said, hey man, you know, you're doing this pretty good. I always was the person that didn't know how to shut the hell up.
Right.
I was like, shit. I can talk.
Right.
I can run my damn mouth.
Right.
I get told, shut the hell up, Poochie.
Right.
Shit. You know, so you never know. Just with doing that, how it can positively affect you by doing something different, because you like, damn, I'm in the saddle.
Right.
I'm enjoying myself, right? So that's just something to think about. And a better work-life balance. You know, my ex-wife said when I had left, she said, I don't know. You know, you do seem more happy. So I probably not unconsciously coming home, snapping at the kids and stuff, kind of did without the stress and the BS at work. Let me think about it. We ain't on domestic violence, but I know I wasn't happy.
Right.
So I know I couldn't have been happy at home, but I came working for myself and left, you know, like my energy different, right?
Right.
Sitting there saying, okay, I feel good about certain stuff like that. I don't think that's not uncommon if you ain't in a good space to be giving off energy and vibes. Like, man, you know, it's hard to turn that life off and on.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things we talked about before with our for grandfathers and great grandfathers, you know, just to deal with just Jim Crow and all that other kind of stuff.
Right.
And, you know, had to turn them vices of alcoholism, the domestic violence, or crime, because they done got beat up so bad that they didn't have them outlets.
Right.
To get certain things.
And then they got to go right back out and deal with it again tomorrow, because the kids got to eat.
Till they put you in the ground.
Right.
Man, just imagine that. So that work-life balance, you'll never know how a change to your desires can benefit you from, you know, a mental standpoint. And also building a legacy, man. You know, starting over, give me the opportunity for, you know, something lasting, meaningful, be creative, you know, creative what you have and everything. You know, you dibble and dabble with painting. Right. You dibble and dabble with DJing. You dibble and dabble with land. Now you're sitting there like, man, this brother that made some artwork. Right. This brother that made a whole jazz. I remember what's the brother passed away years ago? Wayman Tinsdale, the NBA player. He just reinvented himself as that what was Wayman playing? The bass. Oh. You know, and everything we're doing. He died about maybe 10 years ago from cancer. Yeah, but he was an All-American, All-Pro NBA player. Stopped and just started being a bass player. Started putting out musical compositions. And a successful career doing it.
We could talk about Andre 3000, somebody recently. He just changed his life, started playing the flute, got a Grammy and everything. What we talking about here? From a trapper to a...
He got a Grammy for that flute.
Yes. for that album. Filling up P My Part with the flute. Come on now.
We need to get some shit, man.
Our name Andre 3000 though. That's the Rob.
Yeah, we get a little damn wood. Big old wood flute play. Mary have a little round, girl. Begin our shit now. About like that damn Glorilla BET award. That's a whole nother show.
Right.
But let's begin our shit now. Whoa.
Gospel.
Yeah, man. I didn't know he got a Grammy for that, man. Wow.
Oh, yeah. For the album.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, man, big shot.
But that's a reinvention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. When everybody look at you like, what the, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it helps to have a following already.
Uh-huh.
But even still, you still got to put in the work, man. So that's awesome with that. Getting a nice show. We're talking about starting over at 30, 40, 50, and never too late. We've talked a lot about the pros and cons, things you can do with that. Now we're going to, your boy going to holler at you. How do you start over? Poochie, how do you do it? I'm sitting there thinking about it. You got me hyped up, Poochie. You done told me what good things about it. How do I do it? So I'm going to give you the blueprint in regards to how to start over at 30, 40, or 50. Number one, you got to change your damn mindset. You know what I'm saying? You got to get rid of that self-doubt, and you got to adopt a growth mindset where you understand opportunities and possibilities. Like I said, get rid of them damn badass action words like I didn't, as opposed to I can, I am, I will, and move with it. Words will change your ass so damn much if you believe it.
Quickly, too.
If you believe it.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? When you, and how do you believe it? Keep saying the shit. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, y'all know me. People know me, bro. Yeah, Poochie is a super confident person.
Right.
Because I believe it.
Right.
I believe it. All that little boy talking in the mirror and all that stuff going up and there. You know.
And I'm not like to lie to you. It took me a little bit longer. I was okay in high school. I had a lot of good friends and stuff in high school. I wasn't no drag and then I was pretty popular in high school, but to get my confidence like you got, it took me a long time. I don't think it's time I got the bullshit. I got that type of confidence. Now I'm amazing, gorgeous.
Well,
beautiful. But hey, I got a video on my page right now saying all that.
Hey, I'm glad to be on the air with Mr. Adonis.
Right. There you go. There you go. I look like good manners.
Well, to that, what the brother's saying, I'm just stuck on that. That's, you got to believe that and believe it when, and it's not. And I understand what I said before. It's not for other folks to believe. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I had old granddaddy, boy, you ugly hell. That old school say shit.
Right.
And don't mean that. It's just how they are.
Right.
And again, other people don't see the world or move the way you do. So when you say certain stuff, man, I heard all that shit before. You arrogant, this, that, and that. I never talk about nobody. I never demean nobody. Never talk nobody out of stuff. But because you believe in yourself or you believe what you can do, people have problems with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get say, like, I ain't never said shit to them. I ain't never did nothing to them. It's just because how you feel about yourself or how you move, it's uncomfortable. I ain't got shit to do with your insecurity.
Right.
I got to focus on Poochie. And then when I became a father, I got to focus on my kids.
My children, right.
But a lot of times people don't get that. But you got to, when we start talking again, how do I get that point to start over? You got to do a mind shift. Those words you say, those thoughts. I ain't gonna necessarily say a lot of time people, because I'm not a big proponent. Folks say, well, you got to be around these folks, be around them folks. That's hoping them damn folks want to be around you.
Right.
Your friends gonna be your friends because all those. Let me say this: those super positive people, and they doing this, that, and that.
Right.
You can't talk to them about your old lady.
Right.
You can't talk to them about your mama.
Right.
You can't talk to them about the stuff that your friends.
That you can talk to.
I can talk to, right?
Right.
So just because my friend and on this money business shit, that don't stop them from being my friend. I want people to understand that. Because I hear that stuff about, you want to increase your net worth, you need to deal with people. If you're the smartest one in the room, you might got some friends that may not necessarily be the most intelligent. But when your ass needs something, when your ass down, you depressed, they there for you. When you lose a family member, they there for you. And that smart and successful person They might kick a lot of game to you, but they're not gonna be your damn friend.
Right.
I want people to understand it.
Right.
Because as a person that's on a lot of executive boards, state, local, national level, I know a lot of people, and I'm cool with a lot of folks, but I only got a small amount of people to know what my house is.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't get so twisted into your net worth is this, that, and who you hang with and all that kind of stuff. Your friend.
Right.
You
That's
know
not gonna change.
Hey, when you lost your job and you somebody holler at you, your lady that cheated on you, just you don't got a call and hey man, I think we're going through these kind of things financially, my health, this, that, and that. Your friend gonna be there for you.
Right.
And they don't give a shit if you got $1 million or $1.
or $1.
So I really want people to understand that, but I really want folks to identify with that mindset shift. I kind of know. I said all that before I lose my thought. I say all that to say, make sure that you're the focus on yourself. It doesn't have to be other people, other friends. So the mindset shift is for you, not necessarily the people that are around you.
Slick says, get rid of negative people. Some people don't even know how to dream. They can't see what's not in front of them. So,
no, good advice. But out there, and when we're talking about these things that you need to do, those steps, that mindset shift, but also you got to identify what you want. When we sit here and say, well, I want to do a career change, I want to move, I want to do this, that, and that, identify it. I remember one time we was in a coach's meeting, and a guy felt like he's supposed to coach maybe I think like an 8 and under team, and he was they gave it to another guy, and he was in there just fussing like, y'all dirty, y'all wrong. And I never forget the guy said, these men in there, well, what do you want to coach? And he, instead of him saying, I want an 8U team, you gave him, y'all dirty. I'm about to say, what do you want?
Right.
Quit damn crying about
tell us
what do you want?
Right.
Guys, you got to identify what you want. You got to identify what you want. Instead of, well, I need this, that, and that. Identify what you want. We talk about how to actually start over. You got to identify what you want. Once you identify what you want, we can make the blueprint from there. But you got to identify what you want. I need a job. Like, I'm you unhappy. Your money ain't this, that, and that. What do you need? We talking about starting over. I got to do this, right? I got to move. I got to start this business. I got to get this degree. I got to get this certification. I got to get rid of this woman. I got to get rid of this man. I got to put my kid. You got to identify because you know what you're dealing with.
Right.
What is the solution? I always share that with my professor, Dr. K. There was when I was in grad school. I don't think it was like one of those analysis classes, but he said it's always stuck with me. He said people always worry about the solution. They never think about the problem. See, I can fix the give you the solution and fix it. But if we don't stop the problem, it can always come back. Right.
It's like putting duct tape on a leaky pipe.
There you go. So that's why I say, identify what you want. Because once you identify what you want, we ain't gonna have that problem no more, right? Next, you got to leverage your experience, use those skills, connections, and knowledge you gained over all the years, building upon what you already know, what you can transition to a smoother and faster destination. Guys, we have millions of dollars, especially if you've been working in a certain industry or even working period, 10, 20 years. Let me get this TikTok straightened out. We have millions of dollars in 20 years with experience and knowledge and stuff like that. It's on us if we're going to monetize it or not.
That's right. That's right.
And you just got to leverage that out. We've made relationships. We met people. We've been around places and stuff like that. You know how certain things work, operate, where they're located and stuff like that. You got a good idea how much stuff costs, how much time. We talk about how much time something takes.
Right.
Leverage that. Leverage that. Right. It's a good story to talk about it.
Right.
But it ain't no good. We're doing it. What we always say, we start talking about networks, people always will say, well, I know this person, I know that person. Can they make a phone call for you?
Right.
Can they make a decision for you? Can they do some certain things? Leverage
that
out.
Can they get you in the door? Can they kick the door open just a little bit for you?
For
you walk through?
Your kids, your business opportunity.
Right.
Leverage all that stuff, the things you've done, okay? We're talking about how to start over. You got to leverage those experiences. And the next thing, set small goals. When we start talking about goals, make sure they're attainable and incremental. set those small goals. Have those break down the larger goals and the smaller, affordable goals, and go accordingly. You know what I'm saying? We can't eat that big old tomahawk steak in one sitting. Cut a little bit here, a little bit, cut a little bit. Laughs are how you great. But just kind of break things down with doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And being realistic about who you are and where you at in life. Right? If you get tired after so many hours of doing this, where you are in regards to, so long you stand up for that back and knee start hurting. Hey.
Right.
And just kind of just move accordingly with that, okay? Embrace lifelong learning, guys. Again, we're talking about how to do it. Sign yourself up for a class.
And we talk about that all the time. Sign yourself up for a class, and a lot of them are free now. You get on this course school, you get the classes from last year. The courses from last year are free this year, and they be the same thing. But I want to go back to one thing you said. When you said, I just want to add something too. It had something actually to do with what when you said, I'm sorry, let's get back. You good? When you said identify what you want, I'm going to add research too. Because you got to know what it takes to get what you want.
Yeah.
Like Slick says, a lot of people want what others have. They can't get it together, but they know someone else's life looks good to them and they want it. So you have to research what you want. If you want, like when we did start doing this podcast, when we started doing the station, I had to research what we got to do with this, what we need to do with that. Can you play music? Can you not play music? If you can't play music, what I gotta start the radio station that will allow me to play music in the feed. You know what I'm saying? So those things you may want it, but you gotta actually research what it takes to get it.
Man, Lab, I think that's a phenomenal point, because when you sit there and think about it, even doing the research, what's the old adage? The grass ain't always greener. And when you get your ass over there, when you done left that person, left that job, moved away, shit ain't what you thought.
Right.
Because, people move to the great mecca of Atlanta, and now they can't do nothing but do OnlyFans pay. Right. You get out there, you done left this person, and you looking like, oh, Lord, the dating pool and what I thought it was going to be. You left that job, and it was like, oh, this shit ain't going the way I thought it was going to go. Right. It can happen. So that is a phenomenal point. Because, again, even when you start doing that research, like, again, I'm looking, like they said, it looked good. We're doing this, but you want to do that research, okay? Because I'm always, with tonight's show, I'm always a big proponent. Hey, start over, ain't too loud and quit. But at the end of the day, what I always say, people say they want to start their own business and get out the plantation. Right. What I always say is benefits to the plantation. Or you want to get out that plantation. Right.
Research what's on the outside of that plantation.
Well, you want to get out there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
PTO, healthcare, MLA, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Deonte don't work. Deonte don't get paid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Plain and simple.
So, hey. You sitting there and try to get this to people to understand. So, man, that's an awesome point. I appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah.
And we go back with that embrace that lifelong learning. Guys, sign yourself up webinars, classes, YouTube University, Google University. Keep trying to learn new shit. Keep learning different techniques, different changes of how things go and stuff like that. Keep trying to put new stuff in your head, right? I'm always trying to find each tax season different ways to market, different ways to advertise, different ways that I can actually embrace people who want to come work for me, different ways, the incentives or stuff like that. How to get new customers, how to follow up with everything like that. What are people looking for? How to do stuff, how to grow the YouTube channel, this, that, and that. I'm always trying to find new ways. Let me try this. That didn't work. Let me try that. That didn't work. Put my toe in the water with different stuff. And that's because I'm reading, I'm learning. Well, look, man, I did look at that. That really didn't work for me, right? That's not really what I want to do, because, get them phone calls as a business owner. Do you want to advertise in this? No, because why would this get you customers? Those folks don't come deal with me. Right. The people that you got, you're right. But that wouldn't work for me.
Right.
I know this because, again, I learned, I experienced, and do things like that. So when we start talking about, how to start over, you got to embrace lifelong learning. And lastly, guys, this is the funky part everybody don't really embrace because they don't want to talk to people. You got to network. all the time. It ain't what you know or who you know. If you don't have who's, get who's. I get it. Everybody ain't like me.
Right.
Don't like go to strangers. I'm trying to get some money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Money or some honey.
What is it?
And this is not gonna stop me.
Green for the money, gold for the honey.
Man, I'm talking like okay. But in all seriousness, you have to make sure that you're actually putting yourself in position with. If you want to be in a certain destination, you got to get past that. And the only way you get better at networking is just going out there trying. Like, hey man, I got tongue tied. I said some shit I think is stupid. I don't think I asked the right questions. I don't think I went further enough. Whatever. You're only gonna get better until you do it. Right. I just being honest with you. Right. Just like when we first started driving the car. We were a little nervous at first, and then we get better and better and better. Just like when you start your job, you from day one, you at year 5 or year 1, or even the end of the month, the first job, you get better at it. You get more proficient. You get more comfortable. So even with networking, just getting out there and talking to people. But the key thing with networking, I want people to understand. One of the key things with networking is making sure you put yourself in a position to deal with people that can make decisions or put you in the or have access to people that can make decisions. It don't benefit me to know a person to say, we friends with friends, but just say that's part of my network because they're part of something. Okay. Because shit, you can't do nothing. I know you. Right. But if you can make a decision for me or have access to a decision maker, that's the network. Because you it's a tangible value of true network. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like an asset, right? But if he just worked them, that's one thing. Right. But if he's the decision maker or in proximity of decision maker, that's different. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I want people to kind of understand when we start talking about going to events. Like, we deal with somebody and be like, hell man, shit, different me. I get people all the time, and it's crazy because I don't believe they do they homework. They'll reach out to me to advertise on their channels or platforms, and they shit smaller than mine. Right. Right. Like, what the hell I'm gonna do that with you for? You need me. Yeah. And it's like that. Now I give them kudos for not worrying about that and just pursuing it. But when the thing comes to their mind, like, why would you approach me? Like, you could have been talking to somebody else, right? And people have to understand when you're out here looking, friend to friend. But you start talking about building that network, have some kind of strategy of why you're doing something. I've been 100 Black Men for 8 years, man, and I've seen a lot of guys come into the organization. I feel with the premise to network, but I understand it when you start getting into those different tiers, people don't really deal with you because you're in that organization. Right. They deal with you because you got a relationship. And guys find out quick, they want to go out and hand out cards. Like, fuck, I don't know you. Right. That still be the same thing. And as the more successful you get in life, the more protective you get of your stuff. Right. So you become much, much more reluctant because you done got burned a couple times, right? Right. So you more reluctant to who you bring in. So before I bring you in, I see you part of this, right? But I ain't finna mess with you. Now I'm a fellowship, have a drink, dap you up, all that kind of stuff. But we start talking about doing business, it still got to be a relationship, right? But we had that relationship, we got to put in work. Hey man, what you need to do with this? Hey, we're doing this now. Okay, sure, he cool. He helped me out with this, that, and that. Now we got some kind of rapport. Right. Now we got a relationship. Now it's a network. Hey, bro, man, hey, what kind of work you do? Oh, you do that? Oh, man, my brother, the director over there. He do the contract. Man, holler at me sometime you ever need it, man. Right. Because now that person can do what? Co-sign for your ass. They know you and they trust you. Right. Right? Right. Which is important. Is that well, that's like I said again, to get certain, when a person gets to a certain point in their career and everything, it's based off, again, experience, right? So, I mean, with a success, and they've had them phases, so you got to protect the shit, right? So that's why I think a lot of folks don't understand what folks don't want to call. I get people call me all the time, like, "Hey, man, can you do this, that?" Not for you. We cool, right? We cool, right? But not that kind of cool. Not with my reputation, right? And man, I'm like this shit with my children. You know what I'm saying? And my kids, I will say, like, they know, daddy don't play with
Daddy
it.
don't play with that.
Hey, daddy don't play with it. So if you real with it, cool. And the only way I'm never gonna help you off you my baby. Like, okay, cool. I can see, yeah. I done seen you bump your heads and all that kind of stuff. But those kind of things, you start building that network, that will help you tremendously with starting over, guys. And when we start talking tonight, we're talking about starting over at 30, 40, and 50. It's never too late. A couple of the things I want to, while we even have this conversation, like Larry brought up earlier, some of the things that can kind of be deterrences while we are doing those is just number one, we talked about this earlier, that fear of failure. Do not let your fear of doing something be a hindrance. And a lot of times you're in control of that, so you gotta embrace that. Failing is just learning. Failing is just experiencing. You just know, hey, this can happen, that can happen. You just learn from it. So it's all about how you look at it.
Right.
Understand those things. We talk about the challenges in regards to the reinvention process. Those time constraints. When you feel like you don't have enough time, understand when you don't start, we're losing. So if you start, you saying I don't. You started.
Right.
But you addressing how much time you don't feel like you have, or you don't got too damn old. You're really losing time in the process.
Your walls are closing in on you.
Exactly, because you sitting there saying I ain't got time and stuff like that. It's narrowing down.
Right.
But if you just going to start it, you'll know the impact of it. Right.
Why you sit back trying to see if you want to start it 6 months and pass?
I think I said it best last week. If you know you're gonna be in the same situation a year or two from now, why not do that new process that's gonna take you a year or two? If you saying, okay, look, man, I'm too old to go back to school, but I do want to be, get in healthcare. I do want to go to law school. If you know you're gonna be doing the same, and it's gonna be a 18-month, 2-year process. If you're gonna be doing the same shit over the next 18, 24 months, why not do it?
Doesn't make.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So stop talking yourself out of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know when you get out of bed in the morning, you happy now.
Right.
You doing what you want to do, or you doing what you got to do?
Huh?
How many y'all done call Poochie? Hey, man, I'm cool. I'm on my bike. Good morning. I'm good, getting ready for the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But Poochie also know he got to work 40 hours a day. 20 hours a day, so he don't have to work 40 hours a week.
And I'm cool with it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that, guys, and other challenges, physical and mental health. Guys, look, man, pull yourself. What's up, Pookie? What's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, it do a lot for you, physically and mentally, if you have. If you have.
Depression is a weight.
Man,
sadness is a weight.
And that shit do something to you. Make your headaches, gain weight, your attitude.
It takes a toll on your body. People don't realize how much depression and sadness will take a toll on your body. I'm telling you, it wears you down. And it wears you down mentally too. I mean, it destroys you mentally more quicker than physical, but it does destroy you. And you have to find your way up out of that. Trust me, as someone who deals with it a lot, you have to find your way up out of that. That's just one. I'm just gonna be 100% honest.
Well, the thing of it is, we can make a decision. I never sit here and try to make light of people having issues or coming out of funks. But at some point, we gotta sit here and make that decision. How far I want to go down, go in that sunken place. So, I want people to really understand that, guys. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation, man. I had a great conversation, feeling good about when we say, starting over 30, 40, 50, if never too late. Guys, you got to reiterate, age is not a barrier. Age is a number. It's a number. You make the decision how big of that impact they want to make. Do not worry about what other folks say.
Right.
Because they have no obligation to make you feel better. It's good to get support. It's good to hear you go, girl. You go, boy.
Right.
But nobody's obligated to make you feel better about chasing your dreams.
That's right.
Nobody obligated to do that.
That's right.
So you want to start that business. You want to leave that job. You want to leave that relationship. You want to move. Take time, do some research on it. Don't worry about, hey, I'm too old to do this. I haven't been doing this so many long or whatever. Now, again, I have to tell you that, you 2 or 3 months out of retirement, you're pitching around the corner. I'm not saying stop. But I am saying to you at the end of the day, look, where you at regardless, start putting that plan in for that phase 2, what you want to do different, okay? So, you put your toe out there, getting everything together, okay? Please, 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 if I can just tell you anything, chase your dreams. Chase your dreams, okay? Chase your dreams. Now, you get to you chase your dreams, get there, and the shit's the whole damn night, boy. Nightmare. We can say we tried.
Right, we tried. But you always say, no, if you don't start, you're not going to finish.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you have a 50% chance of finishing if you start.
There you go. Well, you got 100% chance of never reaching it if you don't damn try.
That's it.
You got a 50% chance of doing it if you try.
That's it.
But you got 100% chance of not doing a damn thing if you don't try.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
It's all G. We family lab. I got you. And I think for a lot of times we have a lot of ideas. Unfortunately, we think about that graveyard is the number one place. Well, there are so many ideas, dreams,
billion-dollar ideas.
Exactly.
Can I add one more thing before we go?
Sure.
Don't think about it too long. That becomes an issue too.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, you think about it, you think about it, you think about all the ins and outs. You think about what if this, what if that. Like Poochie say, just start thinking about it. Probably, I'm just saying it because I always have ideas. And what you tell last week, okay, Poochie. I mean, you say, Lab, don't just think, don't just think about it. Go ahead and get started. Because I have ideas, and I run them ideas by you and never start. Because I'm thinking about, well, what if this, what if that? Don't pros and cons it. Just do it.
Write it down. Put it on the wall.
Yeah.
Put it in your face. Make yourself uncomfortable that hey, I gotta do this. Do something, got your compass on, but it's all gonna start with action, man. Well, listen, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you came in the middle of it or whatever, like what are we talking about? I am Deonte Burden. This is Change the Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. You can Google Deonte Burden or Change the Lives, Deonte Burden. Google it. You'll see the little blue man icon. Well, if you're looking behind me, the icon is black right here, but it's a blue icon. That'll pop up. Go to the YouTube channel. That's the main hub. I know we stream live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. But the main hub is the Change the Lives YouTube channel. So definitely go there. And also, guys, I'm streaming on Mr. Short Dollar. That's my finance channel. I did that as well tonight, man. You need your financial fix. You can go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. But both of them, got a lot of good information, good content. But definitely with the night show, we're talking about just starting over. Guys, don't be your own hindrance. Don't be your own hindrance with everything. So please, please, please move on it, man. Best of luck with you guys. Appreciate our love and support again. Thanks for everybody helping me reach 25,000 subscribers on Change the Lives. And also everybody help us hit 90,000 subscribers on Mr. Short Dollar. Yeah, man.
We appreciate it. Oh, yeah, Maria says, I'm starting over with the whole 5-year plan. I decided to go back to nursing school to pair with my aesthetic license.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And Maria. Maria, just stay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay with it. It's gonna have your funky spots here and there. I done went back to school. I know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay with it, man. And like I said again, the only affirmation you need is the ones from you.
That's right.
Nobody's obligated to see your vision, your dreams, but you.
Mm-hmm.
Just always, I think that's what stops so many people, because people don't buy into their shit.
That's right.
Not saying she needed it, but I always want that people, they're not obligated to see the world the way you are. Okay? So best of luck with you guys and Chase for doing everything. Love you all. Again, if you have any questions or comments, go to the Change the Lives YouTube channel. Check out the video, put the question in the comments. You can take about 24, 48 hours before I respond. If you got a question, comments, anything you want to add to it. But love you all. Appreciate the support. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.